Morning. I want to start by asking you some questions. Think back to when you were 6 years old. What did you imagine yourself doing at this stage of your life? Now put your hand up if you're doing that thing right now. Oh, that's two half hands, a couple of half hands, excellent. Now think about when you were 12. Same question. What did you imagine yourself doing at this stage in your life? If you're doing it, raise your hand. Oh, some more hands, okay. And now, jump to 16 years old, same question. Who's doing exactly what they thought they'd be doing at this stage in their lives? Okay, a few more, good, right. Let me talk you through my journey through life so far. It's a big question mark. I started off life at the age of 5, I was going to be a sweet shop owner. Now, the economics of this was somewhat lost on me. I thought sweet shop owner, eat the contents, fabulous. Unfortunately, I then worked out that's not how it worked, so I moved on and I was going to be maybe a musician or an actress. That's what I was going to do. Then, watching too many courtroom dramas, I decided that I was going to be a barrister. Fancied the wig, that's what I was going to do. And stayed with that all the way through into university and then reconsidered again. And I was going to go into human resources. And I started work with Unilever and I was going to be the first female HR director for Unilever. Okay? I watched the incumbent in action, thought that's not for me. So I moved across into learning and development, organisational change. Initially working within organisations and then consulting alongside organisations. That's me as a consultant. Same jewellery. Very important to wear the same consultancy jewellery. And alongside that, also changed my life from being single to a wife and mother. Oh, haven't, apparently. Apparently I'm not. That is not what happened. Now, some of these changes were very well thought through. Sweet shop owner, thought about that one very carefully. But in others, they were just a series of maybe happy or unhappy accidents. It's not what I want either. Now, I began to think, actually, maybe I wanted to be a bit more structured about my thinking and started to sort of be a bit more conscious about what I wanted to create in my life. A particularly significant moment happened. I was on a personal development program in the early noughties, and I created this wordscape of things that I really needed and wanted to have in my life. I guess it became a kind of a compass, or something which helped me to direct the life I wanted to create, just some sense of what that journey was going to be. Now, I propose that rather than just leave these things to chance, and things may work out or maybe not, a better way is to take charge and to navigate your unique voyage through your life. Be more deliberate about the decisions that you want to make. Why wouldn't you want to create a life that's full of the things that really give you joy, that you want to have, that you're really skilled at, that ideally you get some form of financial reward for? Why leave that to chance? So I'm going to share with you 4 simple steps which will help you to do that. They're a way of helping you to structure your thinking so you can work out what you want, why you want it, and how to get there. So, now we get to this one. First step, who are you now? The start point is really to raise your self-awareness, understand who you are. Now, why have I included the word now? Well, to acknowledge that we change, we evolve because of our life's experience, greater, different knowledge. However, there are some things that will remain constant. Now, imagine you're at a party and you meet somebody that you've never met before. They say, well, who are you? Oh, you like to say who you are, your name, where you live, what you're studying, what work you do, and so on. And because it's a party, you'll then move on to speak to somebody else. And they ask you the same question, but weirdly, for some reason, you have to give a different answer. So maybe now you start to talk about family and friends, hobbies, things you enjoy doing, things that you're good at, that kind of thing. So a bit of different information. And then you meet another person. They ask you the same question. And now you have to delve a little bit deeper. What you need to do is talk about maybe what drives your decisions. What do you stand for? What are your principles? What's important to you? What guides the decisions you make and how you relate to other people? The more the reflection you do, the more you're likely to get to who you really are. Now, this is a critical first step. Being clear about who you are will enable you to adapt and flex. Now, that may seem like a contradiction, but think of it again as this compass. If you know who you are, you know when to adapt, when to flex, when to compromise, when to stay strong, if you've got a strong foundation from which to work. Second, what do you want to create? Now, this is the future dreaming bit, and we've already had a speaker talk about this. If you think about your future life and you put your own timescale onto this, think about what you're doing. Why are you doing it? What does that give to you? What are you able to give back? Who are you with? It's important to create a vivid picture, something that draws you towards it, really sort of gives you the energy to actually want to create it. Third step. How do you create that? So this is the action bit, or otherwise the future dreaming remains just that. Actions can be big jumps or small steps. It could be about seizing opportunities that exist, but it's about making progress, which in turn is motivational as you achieve things that provides the energy and drive to do more. And sometimes, actually, actions can be pondering questions. Talk about kind of sleeping on a dilemma, sleeping on a problem, noticing things that attract you, looking for opportunities. You'll have had that experience when you think, for example, I want to get a new phone. All of a sudden, you see adverts for phones, adverts for phone deals. All the information is all around you because your brain is paying attention to the question that you're holding. And that then gives you more information, ideas about things to do. Fourth, how is it going? You'll have seen what happens as a result of your actions. Different life experiences will have happened. You'll see and feel things differently. New opportunities may present themselves. You may change your mind about what you want to create. But it's important to keep checking in with yourself. Reflect again. Who am I now? What do I want to create? How am I going to create that? Now, how often should you do that? Maybe that you do it when you're contemplating significant life changes. Maybe once a year, maybe, I don't know, whatever time scale works. But if we have a car, we do things like an annual MOT or a service. We check in to make sure the car is okay. So again, why would you not do that with your own life? So why is proactively charting your own future important? I would contend that it's critically important, particularly if we consider even some of the future work trends that we're likely to be negotiating. I believe these present both challenges and opportunities. The pace of technology changes on our lives will probably be one of the most significant issues that we have to contend with. Perhaps up to now it's been felt most keenly by those who have routine jobs or those which are better performed by technology. So manufacturing jobs replaced by robots, supermarket cashiers replaced by self-service tills. However, in the future, the interaction of technology and the availability of data is more likely to put those jobs which previously needed intelligent analysis at risk. Now it's going to be lawyers, doctors, accountants, who will find some of their roles don't exist anymore. As we enter into what's termed the second machine age, they're both risks to our current expectations of future employment, but also opportunities. Who could have predicted 10 years ago you could make money at taking a video of yourself opening a box with a game in it and posting it on YouTube? That's a thing. The demise of the horse as the prime source of transport led to things like garages, the building of motorways, service stations, and so on. What will be the impact of self-driving cars? I don't know, but I guess we'll see. What's likely to be least vulnerable are those tasks which rely on our basic humanity and creativity. So, monetizing the care of others, providing excellent personal service, entertainment, education, the creative arts. All of these things that rely on our human connection or drawing on our creativity are less vulnerable to being automated. Technology also enables us to earn income from non-employed sources. So, It, in fact, converts capital into exchange capital for labour. If you have a car, you can become a taxi driver. Bike, Deliveroo driver. Spare room, Airbnb host. Make jewellery in your spare time, sell it on Etsy, and so on. So there are opportunities to create a way of earning income in many different ways. Another key change will be in corporate structures. The concept of one job for life in one organisation is no more. Organisations are seeking to become more collaborative and flexible. Management layers are reducing, so the idea that you move up an organisation, not so much. You're likely to be creating a career by moving into different departments, different areas, and so on. Organisations are becoming what are termed as network organisers. So what they're doing is connecting to skills both inside and outside their own organisation. The human cloud is becoming more of a reality, with companies able to assign work to people they've never met, and people able to work from their own home for organisations they've never had an interview with. Again, there are opportunities and risks. The opportunity to create a whole fabulous collection of activities which pay a proper portfolio career. But there's also the risk of being undercut by others who can afford to take a lower rate for a piece of work. There's going to be high competition for work, but great opportunities for those that have particular sought-after skills. And as you consider what the future may or may not bring, there are many attributes and motivators that will be available for Generation Y or the Millennials, which align very positively to the predicted trends. So collaboration, networking, information availability, technology being as natural as breathing. However, there are other motivators that may prove more problematic to find in work. The desire to have context and clarity, positive and continual feedback, and then being involved in and making decisions. These may be more problematic to recreate. And I think because of all these things, it's important that you have some clear idea about the direction that you want your life to go in. The working life of millennials is going to be significantly different to previous generations. Retirement may be a concept that doesn't exist anymore. Education structures will also need to change. The idea that our formal education finishes at the end of school or university just won't suit individuals or organisations. We'll need to take charge of our own career and development opportunities. The UK Commission for Employment and Skills commissioned a report in 2014 on the future of work, job and skills in 2030. The report concluded, technological growth and the accompanying changes in business models make the continuous adaptation of skill sets absolutely fundamental for successful participation in the labour market. So there'll need to be increased individual responsibility for self-management, personal brand, core business skills such as project management, and personal agility and resilience, so the ability to adapt to and embrace change. So the four-step model I propose is an important tool to help you adapt but stay true to yourself, know who you are, know what you want to create, and identify actions to create it. In other words, as the name of the conference suggests, think again, flex and adapt to what you've discovered about yourself as you grow. Now, this may seem all good and well, but how do you actually go about working out who you are, what you want, and so on? The key is in the questions you ask yourself, because these present a challenge so that you can unlock what you think and feel. And we get that theoretically, but shall we give it a go? We're going to use a process called silent coaching. I'm going to ask you a series of questions. If you want to, make a note of the questions that resonate for you. Or just think about one or two as we go, or maybe make some notes, some reflections. What's triggered for you when I ask the questions? Ready? Yes. Okay, we'll start with who are you now? What gives you joy? What are you skilled at? What are the 5 words that describe your core values or beliefs? What motivates you? What do you stand for? What do others seek from you? What do you want to create? Imagine you're giving a speech in 5 years' time, describing your life to a room of St Andrews undergraduates. What are you saying to them? If you can only use 4 words to describe your future, what are they? Imagine these quadrants of your life: work, family and friends, community, personal. Describe what you would like in each of them. How do you want to earn your living? What is the same as now? What is different? What difference are you making in the world? What don't you want? How to get there? What are the first things you need to do to start your voyage? What do you need to find out? How can you do that? Who do you want or need to talk to? What can you start doing now? What support do you need? What energy do you have to get going? Now let's hold some of those thoughts that are now going through your mind. Some of you might be wondering, well, that's all very well. I mean, thinking by yourself, but where's the challenge? Where is the different perspective? What's the support to help me keep going? Why is it important? Let's consider the beach ball. If we looked at this from one side, we would say the colour, and someone asked you what colour it was, you'd say it was yellow, blue, red. And yet from the other side, it's purple, orange and green. Both perspectives are correct, and yet if we only view from one side, that's all we see. So who's the person that can help you identify who you are, what you want, and so on? One person? A few people? It may be that you think better through talking, or maybe you need a bit of time to consider and then get some other input. But think about who you need to talk to, what support you need. You're much more likely to succeed if you've got the right support relationships in place to keep you going. So, my invitation to you: navigate your unique voyage. I can guarantee that there will be both stormy waters and calm oceans ahead. However, you can set your direction of travel so you get to where you want to and also enjoy the trip. You are the only constant in your own life. I'm going to leave you with a quote that's often attributed to Charles Darwin. It is not the strongest of the species that survives, nor the most intelligent. It is the one that is most adaptable to change. Thank you very much.